we got to talk about the lead story. And I flipped it and reversed it like Missy Elliott because it's what I do on this show. Because we have to acknowledge something on Smackdown from Friday night, which was sports entertainment at its best. It was a segment that I think everyone laughed at. I cried from laughing at various points because Sami Zayn has broken the bloodline officially. Let's start from the beginning. So there was a match between the Brawling Brutes. We had Butch and Rich Holland versus Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn. Very good tag team match. Jey got involved trying to save Sami, who was playing possum against Butch, and they got into it a bit. Solo tries to be the referee. They get knocked down by Rich Holland, and Butch rolls up Sami Zayn for the win. After the match is over, we got Jimmy and Jey, the brothers, the Bloodline members with the Undisputed Tag Team titles fighting amongst themselves. And then Roman Reigns' music hits. Michael Cole says, "Daddy's home," and the kids are in trouble. And we go to commercial break. We come back. Roman says, "St. Louis, acknowledge me." And he tells the children, Sami and Jey, to get their shit together. Let's settle it in this ring right now. We don't handle things in the back. We handle it out here in public. And Sami wants to know, listen, I like Jey. I want us to get along. I'm all about peace here. So Jey, please tell me what is your issue with me and we can work it out. And Jey goes off, say, "I don't like your face. I don't like your hair. I don't like your t-shirt. I don't like you. You're not family. You're a fake ass oos. Nobody likes you, Sami. You suck. We don't want you here. We're blood. You're not." And Sami's like, "Listen, Jey, it's all good, man. The tribal chief wants peace." And when Jey says, "I don't give a damn what the tribal chief wants," Roman's face, he was in a Zen-like trance. Like, I'm gonna let them work it out. I'm real cool right now in my own world. When he heard that, his eyes popped open. He had the eyes of like, I'm gonna kill Jey. But Jey was hyped up. He was like, "Turn around, do something about it." But then when Roman turned around, he's realized, you know what? I walk back everything I just said. I didn't mean it. Sami's like, "He didn't mean it, Roman. He was caught up in the heat of the moment. He feels bad about it. He apologizes." Jey says, "Yeah, I didn't mean it. It's all good." And then Sami says that Jey's not acting very oozy right now. And Roman broke. I don't know if he didn't expect the line or what, but he broke character, and Jey was gone after that. He was trying so hard not to laugh. And when Sami says it happens to the best of us, he was done. So he turned away from Roman. He tried not to look at Sami. The crowd is into this because they realize this segment has gone off the rails in the best possible way. Jimmy Uso is just gone. Paul Heyman has lost it. Solo is the luckiest person because the camera did not pan to him. I presume he broke as well. And then Roman had to fight to say "Usi" with a straight face. He could not. And Jey is struggling. He is trying to hold every part of himself on the inside to not laugh. And then Roman says, "Well, listen, if you don't work this out, then he's just not going to be an honorary oos. He's going to be oos, period. And if you keep messing around, Sami's not going to be like an honorary oos no longer, but an oos. And we're going to change his name to Sami Uso." And Jey, who's supposed to be offended by this name change, laughs even more. It is comedy gold. The look on Sami's face through all of this is just perfection. He realized, I got him. This segment is completely shit now in the best possible way. We've all cracked. Paul Heyman just takes us to commercial break. He just sells a little bit of Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, the crown jewel for the Universal Championship. He says, "Roll the tape. We're going to break. This is it." This was absolutely amazing. I cried from laughing so hard because Sami Zayn is the best. And Roman Reigns is supposed to be the strong one, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the guy that shall not break. And he is the weakest link because he breaks every time Sami looks at him. He says something, Roman's gone. Jey, for weeks, was strong, trying to maintain that mean, mugging, pissed off, hot-headed Jey Uso character. not this week. He lost it, and I loved it. The guy was holding back tears because he tried not to laugh, but eventually he broke. And then we get a segment on the Smackdown Lowdown, and they're all sitting backstage with Megan Morant, and Sami proposes that we go to Waffle House for our after show dinner, and Jey lights up. I like that idea. And then he brings up hash brown. Solo breaks again. Jey can't keep a straight face. Jimmy never can maintain a straight face, saying my dog in the background. All of this is just perfection. And I'm going to go on the record and saying once again, outside of MJF's babyface journey on AEW Dynamite, the Bloodline storyline involving Sami, Jimmy, Jey, Solo, Roman, and Paul is the best damn thing going in professional wrestling today. It is so funny, so many layers, so many twists and turns. You don't know who's going to turn on who. And Jey having the nerve to provoke the tribal chief, almost felt good about it before walking it back, is something to look out for in the weeks to come. So, Scott, what are your thoughts on this amazing slice of television produced by WWE this past Friday on SmackDown?
I think for me, the best part about all of this was how the improvisation came into play so much. Like once he broke with the Usi thing, and everybody starts chanting Usi, and Roman done broke. Roman started. I mean, that's the rest of that whole segment is just them just trying to get back on track, because the whole point was to get to, we're going to get rid of the honorary Us. If you don't do it, we're going to change his name and all that. But even all that was just him being like, yo, let's just, at this point, we just running with it. So I love that aspect, because you got to see them just have, this is probably what it looks like when they just in the back chopping it up. You know what I mean? And I think that's the realest and the most earnest thing you can do for Sami Zayn for whenever they decide to whoop that ass. Because when that comes, this segment right here is going to mean so much more. And it's going to hurt so much more because of this segment, because of the fun you see that Sami Zayn brings to everyone, the joy that he brings to just the entire group. I want to read something real quick I saw from an interview that Solo Sikoa gave about Sami Zayn. He was asking, they asked him, what are some of the people that you kind of look up to and you learn from? And he says, Sami Zayn is the ultimate student of the game. He's a team player. He's like the Kobe Bryant of wrestling. He's family now. He's in the bloodline, but really getting to know him as a person, he's chill. He's always there to help, and it's pretty cool. He's a natural. I enjoy working with him because of what he brings and what he brings to the family. Sami brings a whole other light around us when he's with us. He's just so funny. And you just see that natural charm and humor come out. And he, like you said, Jey doesn't break. Roman doesn't. And when Roman does break, he's able to play it off in character, but not this time. I just think that this segment is going to mean so much when they turn on Sami and they just destroy him, because it's going to hurt so much more after watching this. This was beautiful TV.
It was brilliant television and off the cuff, and it was so Saturday Night Live in that everybody corpses. Yeah. It's amazing TV to watch. And I like how Roman realized Jey was gone. He says, no, look at the hard camera. I want you to join me and just not taking any of this seriously, because I'm gone. So are you. And the glances they shared, and just Jey turning back to Sami and not being able to control it, was just awesome to watch. And I gotta say that when Sami started talking about peace and love and the crowd claps, if that's not the moral of the story at the end of every episode of Full House, like, oh, that's so sweet. We try to get along. It's all about love and family and respect, such sitcom stuff. So Paul, what are your thoughts on this amazing segment between the Bloodline and Sami Zayn that just popped me to no end?
Also, like you, I literally was crying with laughter at points of this when Jey said, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief has to say. I went like, oh, like I literally said that, like as I'm watching, as did, however many people were in the crowd in St. Louis. There was a couple things that when Roman, after he broke from the Usi line, he used Usi on Jey. Like he said, you got to start feeling and he paused, and then he looked at him, and he looked at Sami, and he said, Usi. And Jey lost it again. And Roman actually delivered the line somewhat straight because he knew he was going to break him. And then when he said, we're gonna name him Sami Uso, the look on Sami's face was like a kid at Christmas, that just opened a present from Santa Claus. Like, he was so happy, and you can't fake that. Oh, the other thing was, I forgot to mention, when Jey gave his line about, I don't care what the tribal chief said, it was funny because the crowd, like, they were trying to figure out what to chant, and you could kind of hear a "you fucked up" chant, but they, like, it's WWE and they know they're not supposed to swear, but they were doing it anyways. It was just so good. And you mentioned Saturday Night Live, and I'm a big Saturday Night Live fan. I have been, like, I've watched Saturday Night Live almost my whole life. Like, I'm almost as old as the show, or I'm older than the show, but I should say the show's almost as old as me. And what it reminded me of was the famous skit Cowbells. Mm-hmm. And basically Sami is Will Ferrell, and Jimmy Uso is Jimmy Fallon. Like, Jimmy Fallon would break in every skit he was ever in with Will Ferrell, but he was never an important part of it. Like, he was just in the background, but he was always just laughing. And like, I think they just put him in these skits because they knew they were going to break him. Like, didn't even have any reason to be there. I'm not saying that about Jimmy, but kind of, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was not really critical to this. And then the key that none of us have mentioned yet was there was some actual development of the storyline in this segment, in that Sami stood up for Jey. And I think that coming off of this, we may see the dynamic between Sami and Jey change, in that, like, he stood up for him after he screwed up, and he basically put himself on the line to the tribal chief. So now maybe he's going to have loyalty from Sami. And this could go different ways. Like, we've talked about it. I laid out my 3 scenarios the last time I was on this show. And there's even a possibility where, like, Sami could try to lead a revolt and become the head of the table, which would end very badly for him. But, like, where if he's got Jimmy on his side and Solo on his side and now Jey on his side, and maybe he thinks, hey, you know what, maybe I could take over the bloodline, and that could be his downfall. I do like, again, where I hope it is, I hope they don't turn on him. I hope they go after Kevin Owens, and Sami leaves voluntarily to defend Kevin Owens. I think that would be a better scenario for Sami Zayn coming out of this. I don't know that that's what they're going to do, but that's what I'd do. But this was just gold. And I don't know if it was better than the MJF Regal segment from the AEW last week, but I don't know if it wasn't. Because it was great.
It's right up there in terms of pure entertainment value. And I do like the fact that after 2 years of frustration, Jey says, fuck Roman Reigns. And he felt good about it for 30 seconds. He was revved up. He was ready to fight. And then his cousin turned around and he realized, you know what? I picked the wrong fight. I realized I made a mistake. Sami's trying to bail me out of trouble. I get it. But in that moment, before Roman turned around, he was hyped. He wasn't scared. He was like, come on, get it. And then he realized, you know what? He can't get it quite yet. So that's the storyline to look out for too. Has Jey had enough of Roman Reigns? Perhaps, based on what he said, because he said it with his whole chest and did not regret it for a very good 30 seconds.